A lot of people feel like as we await the results of yesterday's official election day, even though people have been voting for weeks, a big turnout for midterms yesterday. And it looks like the GOP will take the House, not official yet, and it remains to be seen what's happening in the Senate. We've been talking about this, of course, for weeks, so let's bring in former advisor to Presidents Clinton and Trump, Dick Morris. Dick, we didn't see a red wave that you might have predicted, but I wanted to get your thoughts on what we did see and why we're seeing it.
Well, I think we saw a hell of a red wave, Bob. In New York, in Florida, it is true that DeSantis got 20% of the vote, won by 20 points. Yeah. But Trump 4 years ago had won by 3, a gain of 17. But in New York State, Zeldin lost by 5 and Trump lost by 22. That's also a gain of 17 points, an enormous gain in both of those states. To capture the House is an enormous red wave, and perhaps to capture the Senate as well. And I think that those who are downplaying Trump's ability to lead the party and exaggerating DeSantis's performance don't realize that 17 points in New York and 17 points in Florida seems about the same. I think that we should understand that to the extent that the red wave was attenuated, it was attenuated by a massive amount of money. The Democrats raised $359 million for their Senate candidates. Republicans raised $195 million for their Senate candidates. What about Georgia? The Democrats raised $78 million and the Republicans raised $32 million. In Florida, Rubio was helped because Republicans raised 44, but Democrats raised 68. So with this kind of a massive fundraising advantage going to the Democrats, it's a green wave that is fighting the red wave. And what's happening here is that high-tech billionaires who are focused on things like climate change and their own agendas are combining with big media to suppress and overcome the will of the people in America. And we are literally watching the green wave fighting the red wave. And why the Republicans can't generate more money for their candidates, I think the fault lies in individual small donors that did not contribute in these races. Everybody's talking about, let's all focus on Georgia. Well, give money, for God's sakes. Don't sit back and wait for somebody to write a $200 million check. Send in your $100. And I think that we need to be aware that this country is being hijacked by a few high-tech, global elite billionaires who are writing $15 and $20 million checks from their country clubs in New York and Silicon Valley. And this is just outrageous, and there's nobody talking about it. How do we expect these candidates to win when they have this kind of problem? In New Hampshire, everybody was talking about Bolduc, and too bad he didn't win. Well, for goodness sakes, Bolduc spent $2 million and Hassan spent $21 million. What do you think is going to happen in a race like that?
So, Dick, let's move it forward to Georgia, because we know there's going to be a runoff now. What kind of money is going to go into there? Where's that money going to come from, and what's it going to cost to compete?
Well, it'll be massive amounts of money, and I think that the Republicans have to be competitive. Two key lessons that I would take from last night is, number one, the Republicans have got to be competitive financially. We're not. The Democrats are beating the pants off us on this, and we can't let that continue. And the second is the Republicans had better buy into the idea of early voting. This business of going into a campaign 700,000 votes behind is absurd. Why didn't Oz beat Fetterman? Well, before the election day opened, Fetterman had 700,000 votes and Oz had 100,000. You had a 600,000 vote gap to make up on election day. So what do you think's going to happen? When Republicans stayed home and didn't cast early ballots and left all of October to the Democrats to vote, and when they didn't give money and left it to the billionaires to write these huge checks because they're so focused on global warming and stuff. And then to hope that the red wave sweeps all because of Trump's popularity is a specious hope.
Okay.
And we can't allow that to happen in the future.
Yeah, all right, Dick Morris, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the
truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
real news
For real people.